nothing but grass, what you talking about? I'm about to jump into the whip and hit the Whole Foods early. Get everything to get that soul food working, like mac and cheese, the collard greens, the black eyed peas, and get a roast of that tofu turkey. Got cornbread, even got stuffing. Mashed potatoes so good, put your hands in it. String beans, and you know we got yams with it. Got cabbage.
So guys, welcome back to another video. Just a little update, a little bit of walking vlog with Tommy. Today's actually my grandfather's birthday. This would be his 97th birthday. 1920 he was born, August the 16th 1920. He passed in 1997, just a month before my mum, so it's a very sad day guys, but I'm just going over to put these flowers down in his grave and things like that, so I'll take yous along with me. And when I get there I'm going to do a little chat with yous, basically just letting yous know about where I'm at the moment and my recovery update and things like that as well, so I'll speak to you soon. So guys, that's me just arrived in the cemetery. It's actually quite good because the cemetery is just right across from my house where I live now, so as you can see it's absolutely lovely morning. It's only like 7:30 in the morning, but very good weather. So anyway, I wanted to chat to you a bit just where I'm at the moment. I was actually away seeing my eating disorder recovery team yesterday, and basically I haven't gained weight this week at all, which is really upsetting because I've only myself to blame really. I just haven't put in the work. I keep saying that I'm going to do it, but then I don't do it. I've been sticking to like this constant thing with the fruit and vegetables, which is no use because all those comments that I got before about I should be eating this, that and the next thing, yeah, they were really detrimental to my recovery and it was wrong for people to do that. But at the end of the day, I let it affect me. I shouldn't have done that. I should have been stronger than that because I was in a place where I was in control of my eating disorder. But your eating disorder is so sly. If, like I always say, if it gets the little bit of gap in the door, it kicks it in. Your eating disorder can morph itself so many times. You go from anorexia to bulimia to binge purge. It'll do anything to gain control when it knows you're in control, because that's what eating disorders are all about. They're about secrecy and control. You're more than your eating disorder. But recently I've noticed a lot of things. I need to start practicing what I preach, because I tell people that you're more than your eating disorder and that your eating disorder doesn't define you. But speaking to my therapist, because I've got a new therapist that I've obviously spoke about on this channel, we do a lot of things like working on CBT and basically taking back control for the eating disorder. And recently she said to me, don't you think that you're actually caught up in this eating disorder? It's this all encapsulating illness and you're defining yourself by it because you're in the eating disorder community, you're constantly making videos about it. Do you think that all these people with eating disorders would really be your friend if you didn't have an eating disorder? And I wonder that because I always think to myself, am I good enough to actually be anybody's friend? Because I'm defining myself constantly by my eating disorder. It's got to the point now that I worry about who I'm going to become if I've not got this eating disorder. And I've got to understand that I'm more than my eating disorder, that I'm worthy of life, because I really don't think that I'm worthy of life at the moment. I just keep thinking to myself, what have I got to be here for? I can't have a family, I'm useless at everything in life, nobody really likes me, they only pity me. That's what I'm thinking to myself. That, I mean, I hear people saying to me that I'm an inspiration and such likes, and that means the world, yeah, it really does, but I need to start to harness that inspiration and use it for myself as well, if I really am an inspiration. But I don't know what I am, I don't know what I inspire. What do I inspire? Do I inspire eating disorders or do I inspire recovery? Because I'm nowhere between any of the two at the moment. I'm stuck right in this middle and I'm drifting right back into deep eating disorder behaviours. And obviously it's got to the point now that my eating disorder recovery team actually said to me yesterday that because I've not gained weight, if I don't gain weight by next week, I'll end up being hospitalised up until a BMI of 25. So I've been there a long time, guys. So I don't know, I really don't know what to think, guys. It's really, it's got to me to the point that I just don't know where to go and where I go from here. And I'm actually at the point where I say to myself, what have I got to do to recover? What have I got to be the person that I want to be? I need to live my life. I've got to get over this. Like I say, I don't know what it is, but it seems to be that I sabotage everything in life. I've got to the point now that I'm not happy being unhappy, and I'm not happy being happy. I just want that middle ground. I just want to be happy being Tommy, like I say, because Tommy is worthy of life, and I've got to start believing that. So that's where I'm at the moment. I would like to do an awful lot with this channel. Like I say, I'm obviously doing my eating disorder recovery therapy course to help all you guys, but first of all I've got to help myself, and I've got to get to that place. There's a lot I want to do in this channel. I want to start doing like cookery. I obviously want to start doing a lot of things like gaming, be more active in the vegan community, doing activism as well, going out speaking to people in the streets. But to speaking to the people in the streets, I've got to be the healthy vegan that will inspire them. I can't go out and speak to people looking like this, because they're just going to say, if you're advocating a healthy vegan lifestyle and you're looking like that, of course not. So that's where I'm at the moment, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you feel any of these things, if you've suffered any of this in eating disorders. Let's say you're more than your eating disorder, you're a beautiful, beautiful person, and I love you all guys so much, but I'm just feeling really unworthy, and that my eating disorder therapist telling me that basically all these people with eating disorders and such likes wouldn't be my friend if I didn't have an eating disorder. I wonder, is it the eating disorder that people gravitate to me for, or is it the person behind the camera, the person that I really am? I don't know. Maybe that was a wrong thing for it to say, I don't know, but let me know. I love you guys so much. So guys, that's me just arrived at my grandfather's grave. As you can see here, there's actually 3 names on the grave in love and memory of Jane Ewing, who was actually my grandfather's mum. Obviously his dad is on it as well, and it's actually got his where is it? John McConaughey, who died. That's my grandfather's father. But the son Samuel, he's not actually in the grave. His name's on the grave, but he's actually buried in America, which we didn't actually realise at the time when we were trying to get my grandfather into this grave, because it's a free pot grave. As you can see there, that's my grandfather there, David. Died 4th October 1997, aged 77. And my mum died the 10th of November, and my mum's birthday was actually the 13th of October, and that's what took all the fight away from her, guys. So I'm just putting these flowers in. I don't know if you can see them properly, but I'm trying to do this with one hand here, guys. So like I say, my grandfather was absolutely everything to me. He really was. He was the most inspirational person you could ever meet. He wasn't only a World War II hero, he was captured by the Greeks and such likes, but on top of that, he was a warrior in life, because if you don't know a bit about him, I've spoke quite a bit in my recent videos and things, but my grandfather actually, he had 5 kids, and his wife actually walked out in a lot of them after she had an affair and such likes, and he held down 3 jobs to look after and keep all his family, and he brought them all up. And luckily enough, my mum was actually 16 when she actually walked out, so she helped obviously look after the family and basically became the mother of the family. My grandfather was absolutely an amazing person. He was so clever. He knew everything about all the planets. He was great at things like poetry. He was a great artist. He used to sell, well, he had the opportunity to sell his artwork to obviously major newspapers and art galleries and things like that, and he never ever did it. He just done it for his own self, because he didn't want to make money out of it, and he never had a great belief that he was as good as he was, and he could play tons of instruments. He could play the mouth organ, the organ, many instruments. He was absolutely an amazing person. I just wish I could be half the man he was. The times we shared together, I remember he used to take me down to the seaside and go to Larg's shore, and my first ever movie that I actually watched, he actually took me to see that. It was Harry and the Hendersons, which was absolutely amazing, and he looked after me the week before he died, because I was actually suffering with kidney stones, and I went up to his house because my mum was in a wheelchair and she was really ill with the cancer and things like that, obviously. And if you don't know, my grandfather suffered with Parkinson's, but luckily enough it only started just before, a good few years before he died, so it never got to the point where it was going to progress enough to really overtake him. But he'd obviously the trembling hand and things, and I remember him walking through to the kitchen and he was shaking, and he was trying to make me a cup of tea and things, and it was shaking all over the place, and he was suffering with chest pains. And I've never spoke about this on my channel because probably you don't know how this mind disorder really started, and I think this was a culmination obviously with that before my mum. But yes, it was suffering chest pains, and he had gangrene in his foot and things like that, so he couldn't obviously get the operation done because his heart was weak. So we all know that he would have passed eventually, but he told me not to say about the chest pains to my mum because he didn't want to worry her and things, and I was really conflicted by it, and I ended up keeping it in because that was his wish. And then every night before I left the house he would always say to me, or I would say to him, sorry, I'll see you in the morning, Papa. And he'd look back at me and smile and say, I'll see you in the morning, son, love you. And this night I actually said to him, I'll see you in the morning, Papa, and he just looked back at me and smiled and never said a word. And the next day I went out to play football, and I remember my father coming down for the football pitch because my father was actually the manager of the football team, and I just knew with the look in his face that something wasn't right, and he pulled me off the pitch, and my grandfather had passed away, and we went to register my grandfather's death, and and I remember saying to my mum in the car, that's me, I'm going to stop eating sweets. My mum says, why is that? And I says, well, my grandfather always used to buy me sweets, and that's it, I'm giving them up. And that was when my eating disorder really started. And then my mum the next month died and just tipped me over the edge, and the exercise started and everything went out of control. That's what eating disorders do to you guys. They're not about weight and body image, it's about things that go on in your life, whether it be grief, bullying, physical and sexual abuse, anything that's sometimes just not being comfortable in your own sexuality as well can be another thing for a lot of people, and that's what eating disorders are about, guys. So I'd say my grandfather's absolute inspiration to me, and if I can be half the man he was, I love him so much. So I'm just going to head back, guys, and put these flowers in the box here. Let's say it's a lovely cemetery. This is the old cemetery, as you can see, so it's got all the old graves, some of the war heroes and things like that in here as well, so absolutely amazing. That's what they all died for us to basically have the life that we have. And it's been a tough week for me as well, because Monday we actually, at the wee church over here, which is one of the oldest churches in Scotland, we actually had a funeral for my cousin Gary Lawson. He was actually only 35 and he passed away with a brain tumour, and God, you know what I mean, that just shows you how quick life can go and how you should value it, and that's every single reason for me to keep fighting, because he was an inspiration, he really was. He had a wee 12-year-old girl and she went up and spoke at the funeral because it broke her heart, and God almighty, it just shows you how quick life can go, and there's people losing their lives. And I sometimes say to myself, why have they lost their life and I'm still here? I wonder that, I really do. I just say to myself, why did everybody lose their life? Why did my mum lose her life? And why does this person lose their life? And why am I worthy of still being here when I'm encapsulated by this eating disorder? I'm ruining my life by it. I just don't understand it, guys, but that's what it does to you. Every waking moment you wake up in the morning, it's there. It's thinking about what you're going to have food-wise and how you're going to restrict, how you're going to exercise, what time you're going to do this, at that, and the next thing in the day. Everything's got to be regulated. It gets to the point that if I'm not doing something at the exact time that my eating disorder tells me that I should, I get all stressed out and I lost a place with my wife and things like that. But I'm going to keep fighting, I'm going to get there, I'm going to beat this. Let's say I'm going to get to my healthy BMI set point weight. Love you so much, guys. Thank you all for supporting me here, and remember, as always, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'm also on Patreon as well. Binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings, and remember, be kind to all kinds. Tofu doesn't scream. Go go vegan. Love you so much.
When I saw you, I would lose control. Made me feel like there was no tomorrow. Should've told you that you're beautiful, but the days pass and now it's so long ago. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who?
Binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon and love you so much.